So, here we are. How am I ever going to deliver a surprise like this again? From now on, the fans will be watching me. Will I ever be able to fool them again? How will I ever top such an incredible, explosive, amazing reveal and subsequent experience? Perhaps the only answer is to never try to surprise people again. Is it finally time to stop the secrets? To give up trying to surprise people because I can never top what I've already done? Nah, that's stupid.
So anyway, I secretly acquired the intellectual property rights to the Kingkiller Chronicles and A Song of Ice and Fire so I could secretly finish writing The Doors of Stone, The Winds of Winter, and A Dream of Spring.
Oh, he's technically Mexican and 3/4 American, but for 3 generations he's got that nationality. Great-great-grandpa headed south, whose kids had kids then turned around. It's not what the show's about, but it's why he's Mexican technically.
It helps that he was raised in New Mexico, lived in Guadalajara for 2 years, speaks fluent Spanish with a bachelor's degree in language, and makes taquito. Brandon Sanderson just made $40 million in the last month by selling people books on Kickstarter that he secretly wrote during the last 2 years when the world decided to shut down. And if you haven't already seen this Kickstarter, I don't know what kind of cave you live in or rock you live under. But at the time of recording this, he's sitting at $39 million in pledges. $39 million. And I'm just rounding up to 40 million. But by the time this posts, he could very well hit 40 million. And there's still a few hours left today if you want to go back it for yourself and get 4 books. But this is the craziest thing that has ever happened in publishing ever. Nothing else even comes close. And I just gotta say, congratulations, Brandon Sanderson. I absolutely love your books. You got me to start reading again after high school ruined reading for me. And I don't think that I can even read as fast as you write. I haven't even picked up Stormlight 4 yet, because I haven't gotten around to it. And just today, he released the prologue to Stormlight 5 as his last little secret troll to the internet. I haven't watched it because I'm not caught up, but if you're caught up, go watch it. This man is just a beacon of excellence in everything that he does. He's accomplished so much, and he is now really paving the way for self-publishing and doing some amazing things. So just once again, congrats, Brandon Sanderson. But unfortunately, in the world we live in, there are a lot of people who are not excited about this. And I just want to shed some light on some of those people because I think that they are stupid. And I want to publicly shame them. So this article by Bounding Into Comics is actually quite old. It was published at the beginning of this month when Brandon Sanderson launched his Kickstarter, and a lot of unhinged, jealous people shared their opinions about it on Twitter. Apparently, according to some of these lunatics, the only reason that Brandon Sanderson has achieved this success is because of white privilege. Brandon Sanderson has achieved this success because of his work ethic and not because of the color of his skin. If you know anything about the man, you know he works harder than 90% of the humans on Earth. That is the reason that he is so successful. He's a very creative person. His writing resonates with a lot of people because he cares about it so much, but also because he's worked at it for a really long time. He's a seasoned author and he knows what he's doing, and people like that. People like that a lot. Almost 200,000 people like that so much that they have given him almost $40 million so far. I'm one of those people. I backed the Kickstarter because I want to read them. Unfortunately, some people, when they see this success, they have to compare it to their own lives and their own lack of success, and they have to lash out at Brandon. Like Natanya Barron, she wants you to give your money to other people who don't have proven track records of good books. In her defense, though, she does say good for Brandon Sanderson. She just wants to piggyback off of his success to highlight other less successful people. Or like this crazy person who can't pause to congratulate the man on his success, but instead has to use the opportunity to insist that people of color need the same recognition, which, sure, I guess. I don't care what you look like. If your book's good, I'll read it. And what's super ironic about this tweet in hindsight is that after breaking every record on Kickstarter, Brandon Sanderson went out and backed every book currently on Kickstarter and funded a lot of those because he cares about giving back to the community. But he didn't do it because of you. He did it because he's a nice person. You wrote this because you're selfish and vain. What thinks you have the right to insist something like this from him? You're crazy. Or one of my favorites, Alex Brown, who is increasingly irritated by the success of Brandon Sanderson and can't possibly fathom why anyone would want to give him money. Just read one of his books. That's why we want to give him our money. Apparently Alex did read one of his books and she didn't like it, and that made her jealous. Because he lacks creativity. Sure. I don't understand these people. But the real kicker comes down to John Scalzi, who chalks the whole thing up to white privilege. Because Brandon Sanderson is white, it means he's operating on the lowest difficulty setting in life. He does live in the United States, which definitely comes with a lot of privilege, but it doesn't have anything to do with the fact that he's white. Because Brandon Sanderson wrote 13 books before he was ever published, and everyone said no to those 13 books, which would be pretty depressing. And I personally wouldn't take that very well. And for some reason, Brandon Sanderson decided to write a 14th book called Elantris, and that one did get published. But I guess it's because of white privilege. I think you meant to say hard work. That's what did it. It's just really sad to me how jealous these people are, and how we can't just be happy for someone who's doing his best to make other people happy. Like, a lot of people outside of the United States who backed the Kickstarter were complaining about the cost of shipping, and out of the goodness of his heart, they announced that they're going to pay for a lot of that cost, because they just want people to have the books. It's very possible he might be losing money from selling these books outside of the United States. It's frustrating that so many people want to tear him down, and that they also chose just one of the most humble and caring people that I've ever seen in this industry. I've met Brandon a couple times at book signings, and he cares so much about his fans. He spends a lot of time just signing books because people want their books signed. He's a very giving person, and he deserves every inch of success that he's achieved, and he's going to achieve even more success before he's done. And I couldn't be prouder of him. So that's today's video, a bit of a different format. I'm trying new things. These last 2 weeks I haven't been uploading as much because I've been having trouble with my computer ever since it updated to Windows 11. My editing software was not a fan. I think I've wrinkled out the kinks, but we're figuring it out. I figured I'd end this video with some more exciting news, because on one of Brandon's most recent live streams, they just announced that Bandai Namco is interested in working with him. You know, the guys that just did the Elden Ring game that everybody loves. They might make a game with Brandon, and he deserves that success too. So that's all I got for you today. Please don't forget to hit like and subscribe. We're trying to hit 1K subscribers so I can start making money, so I can just achieve a fraction of the success that Brandon Sanderson has. So here's that video if you haven't seen it. Bye.
Yeah, well, they are interested in perhaps doing something together, is what that says, which I am as well. I actually... this is how I roll. I actually have a pitch for them in the back of my head, that if I ever had a chance. So I may have to send them my pitch and see what they think.
Well, I warned them that this was going to be happening, so they will be watching this when they wake up.
Yeah. I always have a pitch for everything.
Surprise,
that's
surprise.
the thing. Wow. Yes. Like, if I were ever going to do a Soulsborne game, what would I do? And so, I spent like just like you guys know what happened when I thought, I wonder what I would do if I ever wrote a Magic the Gathering story. And so I spent like 4 years developing a Magic the Gathering story, so that when Magic contacted me and said, hey, do you want to write a story? I'm like, yes, I already have one. And I will write it. And I did. And the same way I've been thinking of what would I do if I did a Soulsborne sort of game. Obviously, I don't get to decide that, right? But just had it in the back of my head. So maybe you guys will hear something from me. I have some ideas. I always have ideas, but that was really nice. I appreciate that.